Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Welcome to our Balanced Life, Happy Life for Tuesday, December 3rd. We do meet on Tuesdays to give people a preview, an introduction, some insights into an amazing company called Nikken. Its philosophy, its amazing product line, a business opportunity that goes along with an incredible community of people who are looking to create a better world. And we have one of those individuals with us tonight. I'm going to introduce you to Michael DiMuccio. He is a serial entrepreneur, although his training is as an electrical engineer. Wait, Mike, is it electrical engineering or aerospace engineering?
Aerospace.
Okay, that's right. Aerospace engineering. Although his training is as a rocket scientist, and he flirted for a period of time with becoming a musician, Mike decided to go into the world of entrepreneurship. And he has taught people for decades now about the amazing personal journey that they can experience through personal growth, personal development, and helping people to truly be their very best selves. So if you're interested in creating more in your life, whatever that might be for you, you are in the right place. And Mike is going to help us to understand that. So let's invite to the stage Michael DiMuccio. Mike.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. And for those of you who may be watching the playback, hello and welcome to Balanced Life, Happy Life. We believe we have a better way. And I've been enjoying this better way for next month will be 34 years, if you can believe it. When I was first introduced to this, as Jeff was saying, I was an aspiring musician at one point in time. I had no idea that I would invest 34 years of my life in a completely different career path. But here I am. And there's so many wonderful reasons why not only did I join, but why I'm still here after 34 years and enjoying myself just as much as if it was day one. And when you look at this woman on the page, and I picked this picture specifically because I just thought, wow, this is a person who looks like they're living their best life. I mean, they are just living life out loud. And that is the ideal scenario for every one of us. This is what we mean by humans being more, being fully engaged in life and enjoying every aspect of life to the degree that we have a voice. We're able to share what we feel inside enthusiastically without concern. And yet, what is it really like out there? I mean, these days, it's hard for anybody to share anything. There's so much going on internally and so much turmoil around them. Stress is a factor that has affected everyone, probably to the highest degree I've ever seen since I've been alive. And there's so many reasons for it. The top one, obviously, is financial worries, but there's so many other concerns. Could be just demands on someone's time, family responsibilities, workplace conflict, the lack of time. That's a big one. And it's the quality of our life that we're talking about here. We want to get back to some type of a quality of life. So consider this. As you look on this slide, you see these words, balance, the idea of having a balanced body, mind, family, society, finances. These are what we call the five areas of life, or the five pillars of wellness. The five key areas of how we express ourselves in this world, physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. And it's the motivation for why we get up in the morning, why we do anything that we do. It's to improve on these areas. If you were to ask yourself a very important question tonight, and I want you to keep this question on the back of your mind or even jot it down on a piece of paper in front of you. I'm actually going to ask you, I'm going to say it out loud, and then I'm going to ask for those of you who know how to use the message board here, the chat, just write out your answer. If there were two areas that you would want to improve most, and we're almost in 2025, so let's put it out there for 2025, mind, body, family, society, or finances. What are your two top? In fact, let's just pick one. What's your number one area that you would like to improve the most through 2025? Go ahead and type that out. I'm just going to read them out as I see them so you get a sense of what this audience is focused on. Okay, here we go. We've got finances, 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 mind, health, body, finances, mind, body, body, finances. Okay, looks like the top two are finances and body, and number one is finances. And again, there's no surprise there because it is the number one concern and the biggest cause of stress. But since these are the two categories that seem to come up the most in our conversation, we're going to focus on that tonight here in this presentation. Now, this is a very, very important slide because it defines everything I'm going to talk about from this point forward. Most people think for a change to happen in their life, for a radical change to happen in their life, it requires a radical change in their life. And the truth of the matter is, no, it doesn't. In fact, this concept of compounding is what Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world. When you make a small change and you compound that consistently over a period of time, it compounds into a huge change. So we could be talking about income, health, relationships, happiness, success. A modest change with some degree of consistency can produce a radical change in our outcome. The question is, what are those changes? What are those choices that we have to make on a consistent basis that lead us where we want to go instead of away from where we want to go? And that's really the two key areas that we're going to talk about. The kind of choices we can make and the idea that we have the power to make them. And when we compound them, creates an outcome significant. Like, take a look at this. This is a real sobering comparison. Here are two very different ways of approaching the subject of health, one in the West and one in the Far East from Japan. If you look at the numbers on this board, it's absolutely crazy. The health index rating for Canada, number 34. For USA, even worse, number 68. And who's number one? Japan. For longevity, number 40 in the US with a life expectancy of 76.5 years. And who's number one? Japan, with a life expectancy of 84.3 years. And what do we pay per capita, per person in the area of health, what we call health? Almost $13,000 a year of our earnings are going towards that subject. And in Japan, 1/3 of that. Think about it. 1/3 of investment in health, and they are healthiest. We spend 3 times what they do, and we're almost the sickest nations on earth. And look up diabetes, another huge factor in our health and well-being. In men, 34%, in women, 27.5%, and in Japan, 10% of that. Now, how can we get such radical differences in outcomes? And the answer is the note below. In the West, we focus on sick care, the intervention. We get sick and then we worry about it. In Japan, they work on prevention, which they call self-care. In other words, making daily choices that actually improve quality of life on a daily basis is what leads to these incredible outcomes over a long period of time. And one of the things that we can do to control or to choose to provide ourselves, our body, the best chance of health and longevity. What are the risks or the health risk factors that burden our body every day? Well, stress we mentioned already. How about sleep? You know that half the population didn't have a good night's sleep last night? And these are the same people driving opposite traffic you and when you're out there on the road? Air quality, huge problem. 7 million, that's a million premature deaths linked annually to this problem. Think about the concern about COVID and what it had on the world. Think about this, 7 million every year, not some year, every year. Water contamination, huge problem. This new one, electrosmog, that we now have on the radar. That's everything from Wi-Fi to cell phones to you name it. And of course, malnutrition, as we mentioned earlier, which seems to be the number one cause of obesity, in fact. And now we're seeing these diseases occur in children. These are factors that we actually can mitigate. We can get in the middle of. So what is the answer to our overwhelming health burden? It's to be healthy by choice, not by chance. It's to take personal responsibility for our health. We call that active wellness, choosing health by choice. And the company that has led us to this understanding was born in 1975. Guess where? Japan, the number one, the healthiest nation on earth. So they were obviously a big part of influencing and influenced by that whole idea of self-care. Let's listen a minute about what this company is about. In fact, Jeff, I think I shared without sharing my audio. Would you just check on me?
Do you ever have days where everything in your life feels in balance?
Audio, great.
When your mind is clear and your body feels in tune with nature. When everyone in your family is healthy and happy. When you belong to and support a warm, loving community. When you have a stable income and no debt. mind, body, family, society, finances. Nikken calls these 5 areas of our lives the 5 pillars of wellness. We help you cultivate balance in all 5 areas of life with the tools that build your wellness home. Because to breathe is to live, we focus on clean air. Because water is life, we focus on pure water. Because healthy food nourishes strong bodies, we focus on nutrient-dense organic ingredients. Because everyone needs restful sleep and energy to feel joyful, we focus on rest, relaxation, and magnetic support. And to keep you as youthful looking as you feel, we focus on naturally sourced marine organic skincare. Our vision is to share the 5 pillars of wellness with everyone. And we want to spread the word throughout the world. Because once you achieve a balanced lifestyle, wouldn't you want to help everyone you know to achieve the same wonderful life of active wellness? That's what we offer everyone who is part of our global wellness community. Join Nikken to build your wellness home and live a life in balance. Discover it, live it, share it.
That's amazing. Now, I've been coached and mentored by some of the best in the world. And one of the things I discovered in that process was a definition for success. The best definition I ever heard from my mentor, Bob Proctor, who got it from his mentor, Earl Nightingale, who authored it, was success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. In other words, as long as we're moving towards something that's worthy of our life, then that's a success. It's not the destination, it's the direction. And so if you look at these 5 areas of life, as long as we're in the pursuit of balance in these 5 areas, we are, by definition, a success. That's the best definition I've ever heard, thanks to Nikken that embraced this in 1975 and brought it to us here in the West in early '89. So why Nikken? Why Nikken Wellness Home? As you heard, it's about embracing nature, bringing nature back into our life. That's what we call biomimicry. It's taking technology to replicate nature in our environment. There's not a lot we can do outside. There's not a lot we can do about the air pollution and so forth. I mean, we can campaign all day long, but at the end of the day, we really don't have much control over that on a daily basis. But what we do have control over on a daily basis is what's going on inside of our home, the place that we come to restore ourselves and rebalance ourselves. And so Nikken has created this
constantly
concept.
Evolving, we've found inspiration in nature's timeless solutions, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered, readily available outside our doors. This is biomimicry, the art of learning from and emulating nature's brilliance, solving our problems and creating sustainable solutions. Nature is our guide, offering forms more efficient than we ever imagined, processes ahead of cutting-edge technologies and systems refined over billions of years. The human body is a highly sophisticated biological system that has evolved to be efficient, adaptive, and resilient. Incorporating principles of biomimicry for human body functions not only leverages the efficiency and adaptability of natural systems, but also aligns with the broader goals of sustainability and environmental harmony. In a natural environment, the spring water is filtered, purified, and filled with minerals that are essential for maintaining optimal functions in our body. The emulation of these natural compositions generates an exceptional source of the ideal water that every cell in our body needs for smart hydration. The Earth's magnetic field influences organisms in many ways: navigation, finding their way, or even for communication. By using magnetic and massage stimulation, we are seeking to influence the body's natural responses to restore balance and support in our increasing stressful world. Air abundant in negative ions can be experienced as a fresh air feeling, such as the revitalizing air near waterfalls and forests. Ionization technologies enhance indoor air quality and overall wellness, bringing pure air to our home. Ceramic reflective fibers work like the sun's spectrum, bringing this comforting technology to our homes. Using energy from our bodies and the environment, these fibers gently reflect a soothing warmth, promoting a sense of well-being for less stress, restful sleep, and vital energy. Our overall approach aims to bring balance in the 5 pillars of wellness by bringing nature into your home. Together, we can make a better world where we not only survive, but thrive. And you? How do you connect with nature?
Well, that's a great question. How do you connect with nature? Well, with Nikken, we have found a way to connect with nature every day. Again, those daily choices. By integrating the Nikken technology is essentially bringing nature indoors. We're creating what we call a wellness home. Think about it like a greenhouse. What is a greenhouse to a plant? It's an environment that allows it to thrive. And the areas that we can control and condition in our home is air, water, sleep, nutrition, and natural energy. So that's what Nikken has been doing for the last almost 50 years. It's studying nature and devising ways for nature to be integrated into our lives on a daily basis through these 5 vital areas: air, water, sleep, nutrition, natural energies. It's science that replicates nature. Now, we can tell you all day long about why these are fantastic, but one thing that we've learned in our business is that while the facts may tell, the stories truly do the selling. And we got some great people on the line here that might be able to share some of their stories. So I'm going to just ask for a volunteer or two, if you wouldn't mind jumping on while I switch gears here and share your product experience. Do we have a volunteer?
I'm happy to share, Mike.
Yeah, Kim, go ahead.
So I know I've shared this story before, but it's had such a profound impact on my mother. She got polio when she was a child, so she has permanent lung damage. She is so sensitive to any air particles that aren't completely clean. And we've tried so many different air products to help her with her breathing. And I recently we were painting her home, and she just couldn't even be in the house. And so we put the Kenko air in, and we just put that thing on high, and it was the only thing that allowed her to stay in her home because the air was so clean, and so quickly clean. And for me, that really is saying something when she's tried so many, to have that quality of air so she can actually just breathe, which we all take for granted. And it made such a huge impact here. I love it. I have one in almost every room in my house, especially with my teenage boys, because their rooms smell. And when it's got the Kenko in, it just smells like a sea breeze in there with it in. I love it so much.
Thank you, Kim. Great graphic. We can see that. I'm wondering if there's anybody out there who has a sleep system experience that you'd like to share. Can I get a volunteer on that one? Any other one as well? Come on, jump at it, guys. Unmute. Let's hear it.
I'll share
Madeline.
mine. Yes, I actually was recruited in Nikken because of a sleep experience. So way back in 1995, before we had a lot of what's in the wellness home now, the person who sponsored me had a profound experience with the original sleep system and a few other just magnetics, insole, seat cushion. Actually took 2 flex pads and put one in front and back over her chest. But her sleep story is what got my attention. And so the first thing, well, I invested in all the packs, but the sleep system made a real difference in my life. And it's my favorite product. It's what I promote the most and first. And second to that is water.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, because when I travel, I like to ask my audience in the room, which is their favorite product. And always, invariably, it's one of 2 that jump out first. And topping it in North America is the sleep system. The question I ask is, if there was one product that you could keep and the rest you'd have to give up, which one product would it be? And in North America, hands down, it's sleep. Number 2 is water. In Latin America, it's the other way around. Number 1 is water. Number 2 is sleep. But those are the 2 top contenders. We got one more story, and then we'll move on. Barb. Can you unmute, please?
There we are. Thank you. Considering the fact that I've been through multiple surgeries over the last year, it's been my sleep system that has enabled me to continue to function and keep persevering and going forward. Without the sleep system, I would not be functioning in any capacity. And then add to that the water, and you've got a win-win situation.
Amen to that. Thank you, Barb. I can definitely attest to that. And like I said, we have so many stories. I'm going to ask the person who invited you here to share some more stories with you. But why do we bring this all up? What is the point of bringing this up? Well, one of the things that we talked about was the context of this being a business opportunity. The two biggest concerns are body and finances. Well, we can see that the Nikken solution for healthy body is definitely the direction the world needs to go in. And where this originates from, they've demonstrated it hands down that self-care, prevention, contact with nature is the best solution. And of course, in a world that we're living in now, where people are looking for alternatives to drugs and surgery, this is the way to approach that. So we have a product line that is in high demand, that people really want and really respond to very quickly. If you were going to get involved in a business of any kind, you would want that. But you may not be looking at this as a business. Let's just focus for a moment on what does it feel like to be a Nikken customer. How do you connect with nature? Well, it's really simple. Go online and start shopping. There's all kinds of categories here that I'm sure is something that will fit the bill for where you're coming from at this point in your life. It's a totally unique approach to total wellness. Take advantage of the packs you mentioned, you heard just recently, free shipping, save 10% on these categories. Start with water or start with the energy, which is how I started, by the way. And then I switched to the sleep the next month when that became available. And then eventually the water, because that was something that came along a few years later. But we now have them all there for you. One pack is good, two is better, and in my opinion, all three is ideal. So as a customer, there's not really much to it. Just go shopping, get what you need. The person who invited you here will share their personal webpage URL, and then you can get what you need. Take advantage of any offers that are available right now. However, if you're looking at this as a business, then consider the upgrade to your account as a consultant and ultimately maybe participate in helping us build this community. So why build a Nikken wellness business? Well, finances is the number one stressor. This is hands down across the nation, and it's definitely on this call as well tonight. So why is that? Why is finances always the most predictable number one source of stress? Well, it's because of how people have learned to make money. As Robert Kiyosaki pointed out in his book, Cash Flow Quadrant, we earn income in one of four ways, or maybe a few ways, but most people fall into these categories. You're either an employee, which represents about 75% of the population, or you're self-employed, small business owner, a professional, which represents about 20% of the population. If you're in either of those two categories, you represent 95% of the population, and how they earn their income is by trading time for money. They don't work, they don't get paid. And the amount of money that they make is in direct proportion to the amount of time that they work. However, on the right-hand side, well, if we look at a number below this, you'll see that of all the money that's made, 95% of the money that's made is made by only 5% of the population. Well, what are they doing that's so dramatically different than the 95% of the population who only earn 5% of the money? Well, the answer is simple. They don't trade time for money, they add value. And sometimes you can add value independent of time, certainly can by creating multiple sources of income. For instance, business owners, they leverage systems, they leverage other people's time, and they can create not just one stream of income, but many streams of income. And that is what Nikken offers us, the opportunity to go from the left-hand side of trading time for money to the right-hand side where we can create an income independent of time, or at the very least, multiply our ability to earn with the time that we have. And that's what makes Nikken such an exciting opportunity to balance the finances. We earn income in three fundamental ways. Our retail model, for those of us who are just looking for some extra money to make ends meet, there's an opportunity for you to share the Nikken products. For the small business model, by the way, that's up to 30% profit. So imagine 30% on any item that someone selects from your shopping cart, and that gets deposited into your account directly on a weekly basis. So if somebody's looking to start something today and start generating income this week, you can do that right now. A small business model, you kind of have employees, that kind of concept. In the Nikken model, it's enrolling other people as consultants who too have the same opportunity to do as you're doing. And this is for a little bit extra income. And we're talking about a margin of about 40%. So you can earn up to 40% on the activities of others. Now think about that. If you're just right now an employee and not earning income on the activities of others, this would be something you really consider highly. If you're already somebody who's earning on the activities of others and you want to add to that, well, there's no limit to how many people you can add to that because there's no cost. There's no cost to you in adding people to this system. Imagine that. You can actually scale a business, grow a business without cost. That's almost unheard of. Well, the network marketing model is the one that gets me the most excited because we're talking about a concept that has that multiplicity, the ability to create a generational effect. So-and-so begat so-and-so who begat so-and-so, 6% up to 6 generations. I really want to touch on this a little bit more because this is the concept that got my attention and has kept my attention for 34 years. This is not just about earning income from yourself or from the efforts of others. It's about the income being able to grow and sustain itself independent of you. How? Because when you introduce this to someone who becomes either a customer or a consultant, they might tell somebody about it. And the people they tell may in turn tell somebody about it and so on. And so now we start to see how this could have a generational effect of being able to create greater influence. If you're somebody who's motivated to impact the world in a positive way, find something to impact it with and multiply. And then, of course, income, a way to multiply and leverage income. And so as we tell people who tell people, who tell people, who tell people, who tell people, that creates a lot of people. And that can create a lot of business that can affect anybody's life and lifestyle tremendously. That is the opportunity of a lifetime. Now, it's kind of metaphorical when you think about it. An apple. We could pretty much guess pretty accurately how many seeds there are in an apple, but there's no way to know how many apples there are in a seed. And if you find the right seed, it can produce an orchard. And just a handful of people can turn around and produce a lot of people. And that's what I discovered, which got me supercharged about Nikken. And what makes it possible is the ease with which we can share Nikken, the simplicity. Amazon became Amazon. How? I mean, they became the biggest retailer in the world because they created a platform for people to leverage and be able to be their own entrepreneurs and sell pretty much anything. Uber. How did Uber become the biggest taxi company without actually having a taxi? Well, they simply employed people or self-employed people, gave people the chance to employ themselves using their system, their platform, to have a business of their own, driving a taxi, mind you. Now, imagine if both of these opportunities gave you the possibility to enroll others who could in turn enroll others indefinitely. Now you're talking the Nikken platform, the ability to multiply people through this platform and create multiple streams of income. And it's super slick. We just introduced a very new tool online, which helps you introduce people to the concept, the power of feeling good every day, discovering nature, and through the Nikken technology. So take advantage of this tool. If you've not taken the quiz, take the quiz. It'll really help you sort out what it is that is of most importance to you. And for only $39.95 US, a person can actually enroll as a consultant and take advantage of everything that Nikken offers in their suite, which includes our compensation plan. It includes special pricing, special incentives, etc. So how does it work? Pretty simple. Join Nikken, share and promote it with others, people you know primarily. I mean, who would you want to know about this first? Who would you want to know about the possibility of improving their health and well-being? Maybe just their sleep. Probably the people you're closest to. Invite them to learn about Nikken. And when they decide that they want to take action, they can shop online and Nikken does all of the tough stuff. They send the product from their inventory, their warehouse, directly to the customer. No warehousing requirements. They do all the R&D. They come up with new products. And guess what they do? They send the commissions, the rewards to us directly. And some of those rewards include some really nice trips and incentives if you're somebody who likes to travel. So if you're looking for the perfect gig, think of it this way. I didn't have a business background, but here I am 34 years later, quite the entrepreneur, thanks to Nikken, because built into Nikken's back system is our ability to learn how to be a business person. So it easily integrates into our life. It's very low cost of entry, as you saw. Turnkey entrepreneurial system. You can follow a proven model by people who've proven it. Develop a business plan, both for yourself and for your business, a leadership plan. And the rewards are huge in potential, not just trading time for money. You can travel the world. And as we talked about at the very beginning, the purpose, the idea of living a balanced life, it's a business built with purpose. So it's not just a thing, it's an important thing that we're sharing with people. And you'll get the help from the people who have already done it. Collaboration. This call is an example of it. And there's a whole schedule of calls available to you 24/7, back office information, online information, and live events like this one that you can plug into. And more importantly, your team can plug into, and their team can plug into, and their team can plug into, which makes the system duplicatable. Now, we have some people on the line who have had some pretty neat Nikken experiences as entrepreneurs. I'm going to ask, is there someone who would like to share their reason why? I'm going to pull out Marissa. Marissa, you're one of the newbies in Nikken. Why don't you share with the audience here, why did you enroll in Nikken as a business?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. So the reason why I joined Nikken as a business, well, I've seen Mike grow his business in the past few years because I've known him for a long time. And also I've seen what he has accomplished, and being on these calls, I've learned what everyone else has accomplished. My background is I own my own mortgage brokerage company, and it's very stressful. And I do not want that stressful life. It's basically taking away from my family time. It's taking away from my personal time, and it's also affecting my mental health. So my future is now, and I'm working towards eliminating that stress. And I believe Nikken is my answer to eliminate that stress, have the lifestyle that I want for myself and for my family, and at the same time be mental health and just do what I want to do without having all these other negative sources just kind of putting me down.
Thank you. Leo, I see you on the screen here. Would you mind sharing with the audience your reason for enrolling with Nikken as a business? Yep, Leo.
Okay, sorry. Hi, guys. The main reason for me, I look for 26 years ago, I'm very, very broke, no job, and I want to be a network marketing business. And that's when my friend of mine present me Nikken. The first question I asked, how long here? 23 years? Okay, you can talk. And I began Nikken because I'm sure the network marketing for me make money, and with make money, I can buy the product, you see? And that's why I'm very excited about it. And 26 years more later, I'm so keep on it to be the first Royal Diamond in Quebec. That's my big goal. And Mike,
Thank you, Leo. Thank you. We have another individual who's been with Nikken as long, if not longer than me, and has had a tremendous success story. Dave, are you there? I can see you're on screen. Dave Rolfe, are you with us? There you are.
Yeah, I am, Michael. My connection is kind of poor. I'll give it a shot, but I don't want to break up the recording for those that are listening, and that's really the audience that I would address. A long time ago in 1975, I went to a meeting and a gentleman posed a question. And the question was, Dave, if you owned a Coca-Cola machine on every corner of every street, and every time somebody bought a Coke, you made a nickel. And I left that meeting in awe, and all I could see were piles of nickels all over the place that belonged to me because I established some kind of business. Well, I was green as they could come at that time. I had no clue of what he was talking about, but I sought out a career in the network marketing industry that's now lasted almost 50 years. And the last 35 have been with Nikken, which has been my most successful tenure with a network marketing company. But this is the best kept secret in the world because people, if they understood the power and the potential of what this can do for anybody, it's truly unbelievable. And here I am, I'm, somewhat retired. I'm at that age, I'm at lifestyle, I'm doing other things, et cetera, et cetera. And that still comes in every month based on what I started many, many, many years ago. So it's definitely worth connecting up and what I love to do now is help other people. So I've learned a lot. I've made huge mistakes. I've done this at so many times. I've fallen on my face, but I know that all the people that have tried network marketing have typically gone through the same things of falling on their face a few times, but that can all be prevented today. We've got a team, we have the knowledge, we have the understanding, and more important, what Nikken has is the lifestyle that really everybody wants. And the products that we offer everybody are products that they're purchasing anyway, somewhere at some time in their life or their career. And we just happen to have the top of the line on most of the products that are available today. So it's a really interesting mix, and I love it. I love the game. I love the people. I love the opportunity. And I challenge you to take a look. I mean, really kick the tires, take a deep dive, talk to as many people as you can that you can find in Nikken today. Talk to us, talk to Michael, talk to myself. We have other meetings that we do during the week to help people understand how to take advantage of this business. And this could change your whole life.
Thank you, Dave. And yes, it could. So we encourage you to do just that. Stay in the loop. Dave mentioned this is the best kept secret. Well, I want to share with you what exactly has happened since Nikken's introduction to North America, because I think it's quite relevant. We just celebrated our 35th anniversary here in North America since 1989's inception. And in those first 35 years, we've introduced Nikken to about 2 million people who've turned their homes into Nikken wellness homes. That's about 1.25% market penetration. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're thinking, is this a good time to get involved with a company that's been in business for 35 years? Well, the answer is, if you've been in business for 35 years, you're a company to reckon with. But the fact that we've only touched 1.25% of the market, representing about $4 billion in revenue, is still a very small percentage of what's possible. But keep in mind, Nikken pays out almost 50% of that $4 billion in commissions. So there's been a lot of people who've earned quite a bit of money sharing this information. What comes next? Well, our vision is every home a wellness home. So far, the baby boomers, myself, Dave, you're among that, a few of us on this call, represent the lion's share of the people who've heard about this because of the introduction in 1989. Those baby boomers are now in their later stages of life. Who's next? It's Gen X and the millennials. What do you think is going to happen when they get wind of this? They're going to move at a much faster rate because they now have tools that we didn't have: the internet, social media, etc. So what happens when Nikken hits 5% market penetration or 15% market penetration thanks to their involvement? How many billions of dollars is that going to represent? They say the opportunity of a lifetime is only as good as the lifetime of the opportunity. And what we have here is 35 years proven already and more to come. Wow. So talk about being at the right place at the right time. Whether you're a customer, you're a wellness seeker, you love wellness, Nikken is definitely your one-stop shop. If you're a wellness enthusiast and you like to tell people about the stuff you're excited about, consider becoming a consultant for $35.95 tonight. And if you're somebody who's like me, a wellness entrepreneur, or want to become one, be part of our community builder. Be part of the group of people that really take it upon themselves to move the needle forward. We have calls, as Dave mentioned. Tomorrow night, we have a call called Brand Night. It's at 8 o'clock, same channel, if you want to know more about the Nikken technologies. This is a great way for people to be introduced over a period of time of the various products and product categories. So step into that one tomorrow night. We also have many of them pre-recorded or recorded in the past. On Thursday night, Dave and I like to host an event where we talk to people who are now really kicking the tires of the income opportunity. And if you'd like to be part of that, and the person who invited you can give you an RSVP to that event. So if you're somebody who's interested in feeling good every day, then make Nikken and the wellness lifestyle that Nikken offers part of your daily choice, because it can only lead to improvement in every one of these 5 areas of life. Back to you, Jeff. Thank you.
Mike, thank you so much. I'm excited all over again. This really is something that people do want to connect with and make a part of their life. I use Nikken products every single day. My life is better as a result of it. And this is definitely a fantastic time. We will be, as a company, globally celebrating 50 years next year. In 2025. The company did start in 1975. And now is an amazing time to get connected and to be a part of a community with an amazing philosophy, great company, a fantastic community of people, and a business opportunity that is just not matched. So thank you, Mike, so much for sharing with us tonight. Thank everybody who shared their testimony. As Mike mentioned, you can join Brand Night tomorrow night at the same time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and learn a little bit more about our fantastic technologies. So thanks, everybody, for being with us tonight. Have a great evening.